Hi, I'm Seamless, and this is the 33rd 75K tutorial. Real quick, making sure, yep, this one was requested by the officialRezzax, and this is a must-die sound from the song Feathers. And it sounds like this. Yeah, it was super loud. And what I got was this. Yeah. So when I heard, just by looking at this, you can kind of see by the filtering that there's going to be some sort of bandpassing involved, and there's some like this hole shows up here and that kind of thing. And when you see this sort of up and down filtering, where you see like it moves up and there's a hole in the bottom and it comes back down, there's a hole on top, but then there's not a hole on top of that. Like you can still see kind of on it is it's still there, and you can kind of look at this as being two independent filters. You can have a high pass and a band pass or a low pass. It's being, there's a separate sub, so it's being low pass anyway to the point where that might as well be a band pass. And honestly, you can see here how it cuts off everything beneath it. That's pretty low passy stuff. But the way that it sounds, the way that it catches in particular, might actually make it feel like it could still actually just be a high pass beneath here too. But that would be unnecessarily complicating things, if really, to get this sort of point. Anyway, now the point about this being the band pass and the high pass separately is that the high pass has to be above the band pass. So we're merging two completely separate signal paths. You could do this in most plugins that have two filters that allow you to have parallel processing. So you can have one of them be the band pass and the other one be the high pass, and it'll add two signals together. That's what we're doing here. Now, the other part of this is that it has this kind of like tin candy phasey business going on. And there's actually a lot of ways to do this. But what this sounded like to me immediately was running it through Guitar Rig and through some amp processing, and then also running that parallel with the dry signal, so we get that kind of phasing business. Only the Guitar Rig sounds like this, and then only the dry sounds like this. And I'm pretty sure this is actually basically just a saw wave, a little bit of FM with this half sign up here at pitch ratio 4, which is just an octave higher, and it's causing it to just get a little sort of toothier. I did this with everything already engaged, so I'm not totally sure what that sounds like by itself. And then there's a little bit of unison, which is two voices, just to give it this nice stereo field. And the Guitar Rig, I literally just found a preset. I wasn't really paying attention. And really what you want out of this is what the cabinet is doing, because the distortion really acts just like regular distortion. But the second you have the cabs involved, that's where you get the guitar-y kind of sound. It's the shaping that applies to everything in post. You can actually do this without Guitar Rig. You can do this with just EQing and distortion just fine. But I decided to use Guitar Rig because that's just what it sounded like to me in my head. This is the control room. This is actually from Guitar Rig 4, this particular version of the control room. And you just fade in different mics on different cabs. You can even get special pan the mics in certain ways and that kind of thing. So lots of control available there, that kind of thing. And then combining that with the dry, gets us that slightly sort of phase-ish behavior one way or the other. And so we have high pass and then band pass. This guy here is controlling the high pass. It's essentially falling in and bringing in higher frequencies against the band pass to kind of give it additional motion. I didn't really specifically like nail the exact motion out of this, but it was kind of neat. How much time do I have left? I'm actually timing myself this time. Enough time. So I actually wanted to show you a cool trick with the sound. And in my experiments to try and get this to sound the way that I heard it, I attempted one thing first before I did the Guitar Rig route. And that was to actually run this whole thing through Vocodex. Because why wouldn't I? And I took note of how not like the sound it sounded, but how pretty cool it sounded when I just did this nakedly into default Vocodex. And that with enough messing around with Vocodex, you could probably get something pretty cool, which has nothing to do with this sound, but I just thought it was neat, just so you know about that. But as far as my attempts to get this to sound like the original, that's what I got. Also, I just realized I'm not doing stereo in here. Yay, because you have to tell Guitar Rig to be stereo at all times. There we go. Now it's stereo. Neat. Well, if you have any questions about this, please let me know. If you'd like to make a request for yourself, please do so in the Reddit thread linked in the description of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Please check out my Patreon page. And as usual, have a nice day. Under 10 minutes. Booyah.